There is a man who is thinking about you at this very second, and the emotions he is harboring for you are infinitely deeper, infinitely more profound than he has ever dared to confess to another living soul. You might not fully see this yet. You may look at your current reality and wonder how someone could possibly hold your essence so deeply within their own spirit without shouting it from the rooftops. You might even have moments in the quiet dark of your room where you doubt that anyone could ever feel this intensely about you. But there is a revelation waiting for you here, a truth that the universe has held in reserve until your heart was truly spiritually prepared to receive it. Welcome to Beyond Brain. If you have been guided to this space today, it is not by accident. There are no coincidences in the architecture of the soul. You were brought here because the veil of confusion is ready to be lifted. This man, this specific person who haunts the edges of your thoughts, who weaves his way into your dreams, and who occupies that sacred space in your heart, he is the one, and he is profoundly, irrevocably in love with you. Before your logical mind steps in to dismiss this, before you tell yourself that this message must be for someone else, I ask you to simply stop, breathe. Stay here with me in this moment. What is unfolding through these words transcends logic. The spiritual synchronicity that placed this message before you today was orchestrated with absolute precision. There is a truth about love, about an undeniable connection that you have not been able to look at clearly until now. This is where we must tread carefully. This is where wisdom must be applied with immense patience and empathy, because there is a shadow cast over this connection. There is a dense, complicated layer to this bond that has prevented this love from manifesting fully in the physical world. By the time we reach the end of this journey today, you will possess total clarity on what has been standing between you and the realization of this beautiful union. You have felt it, haven't you? Let us be deeply honest. There had been moments when the very air between the two of you felt altered, a heavy, magnetic charge, a silent electricity that hummed whenever he was near. There were glances that lingered a fraction of a second too long, conversations that seemed to speak a secret language beneath the actual words being spoken. There were pockets of silence that felt heavier, more meaningful than 1,000 declarations of love. Late at night, when the world strips away its noise, you have interrogated your own intuition. You have asked yourself, am I imagining this? Am I making up a ghost of a feeling? Let me silence that doubt for you right now, once and for all. What you have been feeling is absolute reality. This magnetic pull is not a fabrication of an overactive imagination. Your soul has been registering a profound energetic truth, even while your rational mind scrambled to find logical excuses to dismiss it. Your intuition has been flawless from the beginning. This man is carrying a love for you that terrifies him. There are moments when the sheer magnitude of his own feelings leaves him entirely breathless. He did not map this out. He did not construct a plan to fall in love with you. It happened with the slow, undeniable force of a shifting tide. You bypassed every security measure he had in place. You slipped into the deepest, most heavily guarded rooms of his psyche, and you changed his internal landscape forever. Since that moment, he's been carrying a quiet, roaring fire in his chest, and no matter how fiercely he tries to starve it of oxygen, it simply refuses to die. But here is the crucial understanding you must integrate into your spirit today. The complication that sits between you right now is not evidence of a mistake. It is not a cosmic red flag signaling that you are incompatible. We are often sold a fantasy that true love must arrive devoid of friction, devoid of fear, and utterly perfectly packaged. But a love of this magnitude, a love meant to transform both of your souls, often arrives wrapped in profound challenges. This is not a punishment, it is a necessary crucible. It is designed to burn away the impurities of past trauma and ensure that both of your hearts possess the structural integrity to hold what is coming. The universe has been a quiet witness to your journey. It has heard the silent pleas you offered up when the loneliness felt unbearable. It has tallied the tears you shed when you felt entirely misunderstood by the world. It has watched you pour golden, unconditional love into people who were too broken to return it. It saw you stay, it saw you fight, and it saw you believe in the potential of others when they had given up on themselves. Every single one of those painful experiences was a chisel, shaping your heart, carving out more space for a genuine, stable, and foundational love. You have been in preparation, and this man is an integral part of that curriculum. But to dismantle the wall between you, you must first understand what it is made of. This is not a superficial barrier. As you absorb these words, command your spirit to be ready. Tell yourself that you are ready to look at the messy, unpolished truth of this connection. You are ready to trade the comfort of your doubts for the blinding light of clarity. Spiritual currents are moving around you at this very moment. The fog of uncertainty is dissipating. Let us look deeply into his psyche. He did not anticipate you. For a long time, he actively tried to gaslight his own heart. He tried to file you under friend, under admiration, under anything that felt manageable and safe. He built elaborate, logical narratives to explain away the physical reactions his body had when you entered a room. But the soul does not deal in deception. Logic cannot tame an energetic bond. Despite all his intellectual gymnastics, the core truth remained entirely unshaken. He loves you. And it is a love that has initiated a massive restructuring of his inner world. If a specific face is holding steady in your mind's eye right now, if a certain name is vibrating through your thoughts, anchor yourself to that. Your spirit is identifying its counterpart. Trust that inner knowing. Now, we must speak candidly about the nature of his resistance. This challenge is rooted in a primal, deeply entrenched fear. But it is not a cliché fear of commitment. It is far more complex. This fear was forged in the fires of past devastation. He is carrying heavy, unhealed wounds. These are the shadowy, painful experiences he keeps locked in the basement of his mind. He's been deeply scarred by moments where he offered his unprotected heart, only to have it returned in pieces. Perhaps it was a brutal rejection, perhaps a shocking betrayal, perhaps the slow, agonizing realization that someone he worshipped viewed him as entirely disposable. The origin of the wound matters less than the resulting scar tissue. The result was a solemn vow to himself, never again. He erected massive, impenetrable emotional fortresses. He became the architect of his own isolation, all in the name of self-preservation. And then you arrived. What terrifies him most is that you didn't even try to scale his walls. You didn't lay siege to his defenses. Your sheer authenticity, your raw, luminous energy, simply moved right through his armor as if it were made of mist. You touched a part of his soul that he had declared legally dead, and that awakening sent him into a panic. His retreat is not a reflection of your worth, it is a testament to your power over him. He is locked in a brutal civil war. His heart is magnetized to you, violently pulling him in your direction, while his traumatized mind screams at him to run for cover. His intuition knows you are his sanctuary. His trauma tells him you are a trap. You must hear this, and you must absorb it into your bones. His struggle is not an indictment of your value. It has absolutely zero to do with you being too much or not enough. It is entirely about his own desperate journey back to a place of psychological safety. But here is the beautiful twist of fate. You are the catalyst for that healing. You are the living embodiment of prayers he whispered into the dark years ago, prayers for a love that doesn't punish, a connection that doesn't demand performance. There is an intricate timeline at play here. This love exists. It is a living, breathing entity. The current silence, the current distance, is simply the gestation period. The man who loves you is deep in the trenches of his own evolution. He requires this space, not to escape you, but to confront the demons that are currently blocking his path to you. He must come to the agonizing realization that the very walls he built to keep the pain out are now keeping the love of his life at bay. This brings us to your sacred assignment in this dynamic. You are not meant to hunt him down. You are not meant to pressure him, corner him, or present him with a logical argument for why you should be together. You do not need to audition for a role in his life. Your only assignment is to stand firmly in your devastating, magnificent power. You are being asked to trust that the divine architecture that orchestrated your meeting will also orchestrate your union. I know the waiting feels like an ache in your teeth. The uncertainty can erode your peace. You want a date circled on the calendar. You want to know when the suspense will break. While the physical calendar remains hidden, the spiritual reality is absolute. The tectonic plates of his life are already shifting. Unseen forces are currently at work, softening the hardened earth of his heart, forcing him to look at the reality of what he is walking away from. There is one more crucial piece to his psychological puzzle. He is not only fighting his past, he is fighting his present. When he surveys his life right now, his ego takes a massive hit. He looks at his finances, his career, his stability, and he feels a profound sense of inadequacy. He looks at you luminous, brilliant, valuable, and his shadow self tells him he doesn't measure up. In his twisted, deeply masculine logic, he believes he is protecting you by staying away. He refuses to present himself to you as a work in progress. He wants to arrive at your door fully formed, victorious, financially secure, and emotionally invincible. He wants to be a king worthy of a queen. He fears that if he comes to you now broken and figuring it out, you will eventually resent him. But this is the grand illusion he must shatter. No one arrives at the altar of true love as a finished masterpiece. Love is not a prize awarded only to the perfectly healed and heavily funded. Love is the gritty, beautiful process of walking through the mud together. His obsession with perfect readiness is a sophisticated form of self-sabotage. It has cost you both precious time, but the universe is dismantling this belief system within him as we speak. He is slowly waking up to the truth that perfection is a myth, and that waiting for the perfect moment is just a coward's way of waiting forever. He is realizing that true strength is not having all the answers, it's having the courage to face the unknown with the right person by your side. If your spirit is resonating with this, I want you to anchor this truth into the physical world. Type the words, "His walls are falling," in the comments below. By declaring this, you align your personal frequency with the spiritual work that is already in motion. While he wrestles with his shadows, the spotlight now turns to you. This waiting period is not a passive punishment for you. It is an active period of elevation. You have your own lingering shadows to confront, the quiet, insidious whispers that tell you that a love this profound is reserved for other people, the echoes of old rejections that suggest you are destined to be the almost or the temporary stop. Evict those thoughts immediately. They are parasites feeding on old wounds. They are not prophetic. Your worthiness is not a negotiable currency. It is not dependent on your productivity, your relationship status, or the way wounded people treated you in the past. Your worth is your birthright. It was stamped onto your soul the moment you were created. When he finally steps forward, and you will not be the grateful peasant finally chosen by the king. You will stand as his equal. He will look at you with profound reverence, fiercely grateful that you held your ground, that you didn't settle for less, and that you kept the sanctuary of your heart open for him. Let us speak of the coming shift. The stagnant energy is breaking. A moment of intense clarity is rushing toward him. It may be triggered by a sudden loss, a profound conversation with a mentor, or simply waking up in the dead of night with a sudden, terrifying realization of what his life would look like if he lost you forever. When this epiphany strikes, it will not be subtle. You will feel the energetic shift before he even speaks a word. The heavy silence will thin out. The hesitations will dissolve. He will begin weaving his way back into your daily existence, seeking your presence, initiating contact, and slowly finding the language for the emotions that previously choked him. Your refusal to panic right now is your greatest superpower. Choosing patience is not submission, it is ultimate trust. You are choosing the bravery of faith over the comfort of control. This connection was not initiated just to be abandoned in the wilderness. The universe does not write half a symphony. The delay is the preparation. The silence is the incubator. If you are still with me, if you have not tricked away, it is because your soul recognizes the truth of its own reflection. Type the words, "I trust the unseen work" below. Let that be your spiritual signature on this moment. You are not an option to this man. You are the destination. The walls are not permanent structures. They are temporary scaffolding, and the demolition has already begun. Until he arrives, fiercely protect your peace. Do not shrink your massive, beautiful energy to accommodate his current fears. Keep expanding. Keep building your life. Let him see you thriving in your own lane. There is nothing more magnetically pulling to a masculine energy than a woman who is deeply anchored in her own joy and purpose, entirely unbothered by his hesitation. When you stop chasing, you create a vacuum, and the laws of physics and spirituality dictate that a vacuum must be filled. By stepping back, you force him to step up. You force him to experience the agonizing reality of your absence, and it is in that empty space that he will finally find the courage he has been lacking. The breakthrough is imminent. The man who loves you is navigating through the dark, but he is finally following your light. You are chosen. You are incredibly powerful, and you are ready. Thank you for allowing Beyond Brain to hold space for your journey today. Breathe deeply, release your grip on the outcome, and watch how beautifully the universe delivers what is already yours.